Hello everyone, my name is Ira Armstrong, and this is my YouTube channel, Saturn's Edge. I'm pretty young, but I've always had a passion for art and gaming. Ever since I was a kid, I wanted to play games and record some Let's Plays of my own. On this channel, I'll be posting playthroughs of some games I have, funny moments with my friends, some speed paints with commentary, and sometimes I'll even post a video essay about some of my favorite things that I'm passionate about. Is this PNG avatar that I have going to be in every video from now on? No, but he will show up occasionally. I only have the one picture done, but, I'll spend some more time to get some more poses ready to make it feel more right. I'm also going to use this channel to help promote any projects that I have going on in the future, but for now I would just expect gameplay with the occasional speed paint or video essay. You gotta believe me here, it'll be a long time before any big project happens. I'm extremely new to recording videos, so I really can't guarantee that I'm a great commentator or I have some high quality. I get really focused during games, so I don't really have the live reaction sort of approach. I'm way better at post commentary because it allows me to open up like this to the point where I can just keep talking without interruptions. And it feels better for me in general. This is actually the first video where I've actually taken the time to make a script for it, in case you wanted to know how new I was to this sort of thing. I take a lot of my inspiration from older YouTube videos, specifically Let's Plays and speed paints, and how often they appeared on YouTube back in the early to mid 2010s. I really enjoyed the more informational, the more laid-back style of Let's Play, rather than the completely reactional style that came out pretty much right after that. I'm also not big on live streams, so it's kind of a shame, really. Because at some point I would actually love to do a live stream, either in art or a live gameplay style sort of stream. The problem is with that is I'm not exactly comfortable going live yet and displaying my true self, I guess. I prefer this sort of layer of separation. I don't really have much else to say after this point. I do have to find a way to fill in the next 11 minutes of time, I'd say, for this footage. So I think I'll just go over my personal life for a bit and my history of games and artwork. I have been a fan of video games ever since I was about 4. My dad got me a Game Boy Advance, and I've loved that thing to death, and I still own it and have it to this day in decent condition. I do want to deck it out at some point with some mods. Anyway, from there, 2 years later, I got the Nintendo Wii, and that was what really kickstarted my love for gaming. Eventually it went from the Wii to the Wii U to the Switch, and then eventually I ended up on PC gaming. I do still play, a decent amount of Switch games. I play, I play whatever, really. I don't have an Xbox or a PlayStation, so those two are kind of out for me, but I'm able to get by without them. When it comes to game genres, I've learned to expand my tastes and broaden my horizon a bit. I usually used to stick with Nintendo, just really like Smash Brothers, Splatoon, Mario Kart, that kind of stuff. But eventually, as I got more into PC gaming, it helped me expand my interests a bit more as there was more stuff to access. So I do have a wider selection to work with that I genuinely enjoy, and I would love to either try out or play again just for this channel. A lot of times, if I'm playing a single-player game, I'm playing a story-based game with a good soundtrack and a really good art direction. And sometimes I'm playing a roguelite or a roguelike, mainly because I love the challenge and I just love how fun it is. If I'm playing with my friends in a multiplayer setting, we're usually playing just to kind of goof around, just really have fun with it. We never take anything seriously at all. I was very limited in what a good game was considered, mainly because I was trapped in the Nintendo box as a kid, and typically if your parents have, a console, they usually stick with one line of consoles. So I didn't really have anything outside of my range, really. A lot of my expansion and tastes in genre came mainly from a friend of mine who allowed me to really experience and play and kind of look at different games, and he still shows me different games to this day that I do take an interest in. and I would love to play at some point as well. Really, I owe a lot of credit to my friends for allowing me to expand my genre list and let me experience like different games that I never would have gotten into otherwise. I guess now I could talk about the art side of things. When I was growing up, I grew up in a very artistic sort of family where experimental music and appreciation for like art and writing and stuff like that was fairly common and also viewed as like pretty important. So I went down the route of artwork and writing specifically, and mainly this is in forms of media like video games, manga, anime, stuff like that. And I also appreciate the pop culture side of things and how it affects the current audience of the fan base or people that are from the outside looking in. I take a look at that sort of stuff too. As you can tell by my art skills, I actually haven't had any formal art training, so a lot of this is self-taught. It's not great, and I'm still trying to develop as an artist and actually learn all of the techniques and such before I eventually apply that to my style. I only basically just took high school art classes, and that's pretty much it for like any sort of art training I do have. When it comes to the more media side of things, so specifically video games, manga, anime, I mainly take a look at the physical artwork that's presented and see how that style works, and I take time to appreciate it and see how that incorporates into the characters and the settings and such. But I also take a look at the writing and the soundtracks to see how those match up. I take a lot of time appreciating and like critiquing and seeing what all sort of stuff appeals to me in a game or a volume of manga or an episode of anime. And I really like exploring these things because they're genuinely unique, and a lot of people have different opinions on them. As I've stated before, I do have a decent-sized selection of games that all have kind of their own unique qualities and taste to them, but mainly I am a manga collector, so I have tons and tons of volumes of them that I do try to read and catch up on so I can analyze them further. With anime, I don't watch anime very often, as I don't have the time to sometimes, but eventually when I do enjoy that sort of process as well. I also collect various art books, like not just art guides, but also those source books that you see for some games that just pop up in and out. You don't see them very often here in the United States, but I do have a couple that are from Japan, and actually I have to use a translator in order to read them. When it comes to the analyzing the fan base sort of idea, what I like doing is I like taking the pieces of writing or the artwork or the game itself or the whatever, right? And I like seeing what the audience actually thinks of that. There's so many different opinions, and there's so many like different pop culture things like merchandise or opinions and polls and like fan works that it's kind of impressive to me, and I take a lot of time like trying to look into that and seeing what other people's interpretations or analysis they have like over the subject. And I like seeing how all of that interacts, and I may actually go over that sort of topic sometime in the future. As you can probably tell with my voice and my personality, I'm not really an emotional-based person when it comes to recording these videos. I'm leaning much more on the logical side, and I do a lot of research before I actually publish a video, because of a lot of that stuff takes a bit of time. I just want people to learn a little something off of my videos, either from the game that I'm playing having like a fact in it, or just knowing that if they want to play the game or not, and seeing someone else's experience off of that. With the millions upon millions of other YouTubers out there, I'm kind of proud to put out my content alongside them. I do believe that my style of video is a bit outdated because of the way that gaming has changed over time on the internet, really. Going from like logical and relaxed to very emotional and reaction based to eventually live streams. And I don't believe I stack up in that regard at all. And I don't think I would ever stack up there at all. And I feel like bringing something back from the past that's kind of nice and kind of nostalgic, I guess. This video and the previous ones I've made, on top of a bunch of the other future ones that I make, are going to be extremely experimental, and really they're just learning opportunities for me. I just hope they go out really well, and eventually I find out my exact style that I want to do. Eventually I will get comfortable with recording myself for these. As you could tell, the audio is very choppy, and I've had to do a lot of different takes for each segment of this, and only some segments turn out right, and others just kind of don't. When I'm recording myself in post, I really try to shoot for perfection, to where you can at least get a hint of personality in my voice, even when there isn't any. If I were to do everything live, it'd actually be pretty boring. A lot of that trouble comes from my voice specifically. You can tell that there's not a lot of personality in it unless I really force it to be there with the way that I talk, both in tone and inflections, and a variety of other different methods. It's a bit of a problem, but I think eventually it'll either clear up, or maybe it'll just become the staple, and I can find ways to work around it with different other techniques, like editing style, or with visuals, or with explanations. Am I talking bad about myself a little bit? Yeah, that's true. A lot of the times my personality actually does show up, it's whenever I mess up one of these takes, and I can't exactly put a bloopers section in every video, so, you know, it's kind of a problem. The other times when my personality does show up, it's when I'm really passionate about something and I can just talk about it, or if I'm around my friends. And this is mainly due to, like, social circumstance. If I'm really passionate about something, typically my voice keeps the same tone, but my emotions and personality are there. And with my friends, there's a bit more. It really helps that I actually talk to my friends if I ever, need help with this issue. Personality and voice issues aside, I'm actually really glad I get to put out content. And I really hope that these videos actually mean something to you, whether informational, entertaining, or just a way to kill time. I don't really have any words for it, I guess. For this video, I really wanted to take my time and make something good that acts as a channel trailer to really advise you into what you're getting into and the kind of content you're going to be seeing. Not a lot of people watch these, so I have no guarantee that people will even get to this point. But if you have gotten to this point, or you just kind of stuck around on this video, I just wanted to say thank you. It really means a lot to me that you were actually able to have this playing. For now, I hope you enjoy what my channel has to offer, and I'll be seeing y'all around next time, okay?